Hello folks, I am back with a sim racing video, first one in months. We can get into all of the reasons and what I've been up to a bit later in the video, but we'll just explain what this one is first. So I've been getting into the old British touring cars. Many of you may remember that in the 90s, the British touring cars was a phenomenal series. And I loaded up Assetto Corsa, and lo and behold, they have some versions of them. So the one you're seeing here is the Alfa Romeo, the famous Gabriele Tarquini roll it over at, it was at Knock Hill, the famous Murray Walker sort of commentary. And there's the BMW and the Mercedes. So what I thought I'd do is I set the AI to Alien, set all the parameters as per usual to as sort of realistic as we can, and we'll do some AI racing. It has to be AI because in Assetto Corsa we don't have on console any servers for multiplayer. But you know, it's better than nothing because these cars, this racing it's absolutely wonderful. It's everything that I want in a sim race. You know, and I'll get into this when I talk about what's really going on in the sim racing world, but just, it's so much fun, it's so immersive. As you'll probably see by the footage from on the screen just now, you know, I'm very rusty. Hadn't been doing a lot of sim racing when I recorded this. I'd had just about a month off. So I missed a few gear changes, it's pretty sloppy, but you know what, who cares, because this ain't esports, this is just a lot of fun. And we get into the rhythm as the race goes on. And yeah, it's just, I wish we could have more of that. And, you know, that leads us on to, you know, the next sort of topic as to what's really been going on. So, in the world of console sim racing, absolutely nothing is happening. It's just not really why I've not really been doing too much of it. I played obviously a lot of ACC, I've done a lot of GT3 races, played a lot online, but you know, I do like the variety, I do like doing different things. You know, I said in the last video that I was going to maybe look at had a few ideas for videos, I wanted to maybe do some rallying stuff, but you know, a lot of the rally immersion comes from, you know, the inputs on the pedals, the inputs on the steering wheel, the inputs using a full H-pattern gearbox. You know, it's a very, very immersive experience doing rally on a sort of sim game. But unless I'm streaming it and you can see me, none of that comes across in the video. And because rally is time trial, you know, it's not, I don't think it's that interesting to watch. But I will do a rally video and see what happens, but it's not as interesting as watching a race where you've got other cars and stuff on the track, and a lot of the fun is actually on my side, and that doesn't really come across in just a voiceover video, but we'll maybe do some shorter ones and see how they come up. So I started to do, like I said, I started to load up Assetto Corsa, and I'd been getting back into touring cars. I'd watched some old YouTube videos of the mid-90s, you know, the BMWs, who remembers the Volvo estates barreling around the tracks. I mean, these big buses, you know, the Ford Mondeo, the Cavaliers, the yellow and blue Renault Lagunas, you know, and then you look at the names like Jan Lammers, Paul Radishij, Gabriele Tarquini, Steve Soper, Tim Harvey, you know, all these names, Tiffany Dell, Jason Plato laterally came into it, Jürgen Winkelhock. There's just loads of sort of memories come back when you watch this content, and it really gets you sort of wanting to do it. And then when you discover you've got some options on the sim to do it, and then on PC I'd seen that a sim called Race Room had just put out an update for British touring cars, and you know, there's some of the content creators, the big ones like Jimmy Broadbent and stuff, and Traction, they'd done videos on it, and it's so much fun. It's exactly as you you know, expect it to be. The racing is super close, the cars are all equal, you know, and even down to the liveries of the cars are very emotive. Like I said, the Renault Laguna one, the BMW one with that sort of red, white and blue little blocks. The Alpha one that I'm in just now, the red paint job, it screams Gabriele Tarquini and flipping the car, or, you know, rolling it over. So it's just great. So I started practicing and having a wee go on it. And in this game on console, you have the Alpha, a BMW, and you've got the Mercedes, the 190. And it's great as well. So I thought, well, what I'll do is I'll do a race in each. So I'm doing the Alpha around Silverstone, I've got a race around the Nürburgring in the Mercedes, and I'll maybe do like Brands Hatch in the BMW. And I'll whack up the difficulty on the AI as hard as it can go, and it's not about winning, it's just about trying to make sure the pace of the guys is even, and you know, you're having a good racing time. And it is even against the AI, it's absolutely fantastic. And you know, it gives me exactly what I want from sim racing. And it also, does it fill me with hope or sadness? So in January on Steam Early Access on PC, the next Assetto Corsa Evo, is going into Early Access, and it's going to be on PC. And you know, I'm sincerely hoping that game has car classes like this in it. Because if you could get a modern sim, bearing in mind, the original AC here that you're seeing in front of you on console is a bare bones experience, set, I think, made in 2014, 2015. You know, if you can have a modern version where the developers have had time to work on a new physics engine, they've had time to increase the track and car count, they've improved the force feedback for more modern wheels and bases, you know, button configurations. I mean, the options menu in this sim is really bare bones on console, like really, really bare bones. I mean, you'd be as well not bloody bothering having one. It's better on ACC because it's a more evolved title. So if they can bring some of that ACC, you know, refinement into the new Assetto Corsa Evo, you know, we should be in to just a fabulous experience. But this brings me on to console, because as per usual, the developers, you know, they've put it into early access on Steam, and I get that the strongest audience is on PC, but, you know, consoles have a big audience. We know that. Gran Turismo, Forza, they're hugely popular titles. Yes, they're more arcade-based, but they have fostered a generation of people that want to play sim games. And as of this moment, the developers are not talking about the console version of Assetto Corsa Evo. All they've said is there will be one and you'll get it at a later date. And that is no information, no potential timetable, no basis of, you know, oh, it'll be coming out, let's say, the end of the year, or yes, it'll be the full experience, it'll be exactly as there is on PC, obviously a few performance or a few tweaks here and there, but, you know, generally the same. I accept that the original Assetto Corsa was, you know, a modding. Mods basically kept it alive. And on console, there are licensing issues and issues regarding third-party content that it's a lot harder to introduce mods for particularly cars, where you've got car manufacturers like Porsche, Ferrari, BMW, Audi, all these people. They don't want their content modded in an unregulated way on console. I kind of get that. On PC, I think they don't put names of cars attached to it, but it is very much like sort of it's an open-ended platform. So people create third-party content. It kind of looks like like a Ferrari or whatever, but I don't think it, you know, and it's you know, based on all that, but they don't put the name on it. Or if they do it in a very sort of open-ended way. On a console, you just can't do that. So I accept that. But it doesn't mean that the console market doesn't want to play these things, and doesn't mean that we don't want the base game and all the DLC tracks. And I just wish these publishers and developers would put some damn love into the console versions of the games, because the audience is there if you hunt hard enough for it. You know, 40 million people have played Forza Horizon. Yes, I know it's an arcade game, but it shows the audience for cars. Gran Turismo is the most well-known car brand game in the world. You know, the audience is massive, potentially, and you've just got to work a bit harder and put some love into it. If you continue to ignore it, they're not going to get anywhere. You know, and on PC right now, like I said, Race Room, it's an old sim. What have they done? They've put out a British touring car add-on. You've got iRacing, which is just the most current popular sort of sim. You've got Assetto Corsa, the original one, being kept alive by mods. You've got Le Mans Ultimate, new Le Mans series game that is gaining traction. Although I do understand, I think the developers, I might be wrong here, this is by no means fact, but I think they're struggling a bit financially. But they've said, oh, we're going to look at console in the future. So, well, again, that's just a nothing statement. You want to survive financially? Well, perhaps get the damn game out on console to begin with and give the audience a shout. And then maybe you can earn some money from it. You know, I understand the technical limitations, but these things are possible. A lot of the engines these things use are old. You've got Automobilista, you've got R-Factor. These are all PC based, and now you've got the new Assetto Corsa Evo, and the console market just gets left. I do understand I'm ranting here, but it is frustrating, because when I play and I race with what you're seeing on screen, with things like 90s touring cars, with a full H-pattern gearbox, you know, a round wheel rim, wheel-to-wheel racing where the cars are even, it's absolutely brilliant, and it doesn't matter that you're not esports pace. It's just so immersive and so fun. And, you know, I wish that we can get this in the future, where I can race online with this type of content, because it would just be so much fun. You know, I was talking about doing rally earlier and how immersive it is. Well, this is rallying for the racetrack, basically. It's just so much fun and so immersive. So I do hope the state of console sim racing improves. I hope the developers put some love in the new AC on console, and we get sort of what this, albeit small, community of sim racers on console. You know, it can grow if you give it a chance to grow. You know, but we need the developers and the publishers to sort of back it up. But there we are. That's the race finished, and I hope you enjoyed it.